Nigga, we gotta start the podcast.
Oh my god, I'm trying to.
Bro, you do this every single time.
Don't be trying to put that on me. I hate that. Oh my god, let's start the podcast.
What did you slip up in my cup, girl?
It's just that when I drink, sometimes I get a little crazy.
Care to wet your whistle, Marcus?
Can I get a refill?
Oh, it's my night. I know it's gonna be good. Turn it up, turn it up.
All right, whatever. Hey, y'all. We are back. What, episode 3?
Episode 3.
I feel like the first two they felt more close together in my mind, but that's only because I was listening to them back to back to back before we put them out. So this week feels like really far away for no reason at all.
It does. I thought I was just bugging.
Nah, it doesn't. But we here. When we get to 10, I'm going to throw a party.
That shit, we ain't quit yet.
Yo, for real. I'm going to sit there. And it's going to be like a one-woman party, too, with, like, my wine glass. And, like, I'll be watching something, like, binge watching it in bed. And I'm going to have, like, the little, noisemaker, the beep.
How many subscribers we going to have by the time we get to our 10th episode?
You know what? One more person's going to subscribe.
I'm proclaiming we're going to have at least 10.
Well, we're actually at 9 right now.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
I know. People really, 20. Like, it's probably just all of our friends, but...
Yo, that's 10 people.
That's a fact. Listen, by next week, we're going to have 10 whole subscribers. Y'all with us? You here for that? In the background, I hear them saying yes, so it really doesn't matter. See, I love when you do that. Just thank you, Big Daddy. Thank you. All right. You ready to jump in this week? Because I'm tired. So we gotta keep going.
Shit, I don't have my laptop out. Hold on. Keep talking.
Wow. See, and then he was talking all that shit about being ready, and your deadass not even ready. This is why I don't like you as a person. Listen,
there's a lot of people that don't like me.
They're smart people. And here I am going into business with you. What's happening?
Listen, you need an eclectic mind. Eclectic. You was even ready for that. You need an eclectic mind.
What, was eclectic supposed to be too, like, fancy for me to know what that means?
You fake got Southern blood. You don't use big words.
Wow. Okay, so
I just made an enemy out of like the whole bottom of the country.
Yeah, and you know what? I was doing like, so you know how you can make like your Instagram profile or whatever, like a business profile or whatever? Mm-hmm. So a lot of our people came from like Texas and shit, and like a lot came from Georgia and Florida. When I did like our little promotion just to see how much, like what it actually does, because I was curious enough to like spend $3 on it. Yeah. And I was like, why is there such a big community in the South? I mean, I fuck with y'all, but like, like what was going on over there? I don't know. But
I'll take it.
I'm here for it. I like it. I like it a whole lot. Anyway, so are you finally ready? You got your laptop?
I'm good.
You know what we talking about now?
I think so. Oh, yeah, you sent me a message. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. We're so organized. Anywho. So this week, you want to start off with something a little light, or are you trying to jump right into the bullshit?
Do you know me?
Come on with the culture stuff.
Come on, guys. Jump right in.
To which one? Something lighter to the... Come on.
Right into the bullshit.
Woo! All right, so Jesse... I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Smollett, whatever it is.
Fuck, nigga. That's how you pronounce it.
Yikes. Okay, so do you know what the story is?
To a certain extent. Like, I mean, I've been following it through you, and anytime I might hear...
Because God forbid you have social media.
Hey, bro, that shit is from the devil himself.
I'm not going to lie. I kind of deleted my personal account, like, I want to say, like, a week ago. And I felt a little less, like, stressed and competitive.
Bro, that shit is no good for you, bro. I'm telling you, I always said before in that conversation we had, there's pros and cons to it, but I feel like the cons outweigh the pros. And I think a lot of the times in our lives, we don't realize that the cons are outweighing the pros because they become so normalized. Like, we're so used to the pain that things inflict on us. You don't even realize that it's actually hurting us.
I really don't know how the kids are doing, like, the whole social media thing in, like, I don't know, high school. I mean, because back then, like, you get into, like, a fight or some shit like that. Not everybody had their phone out, you know what I mean? Like, it was lucky if somebody really caught some of the fight and it didn't look like 3 pixels being like smushed together on a screen. Like,
you didn't know who it was.
Yeah, like it was just
y'all was all
horrible.
Huddled up at the lunch table trying to figure out like, yo.
Yeah, because remember you couldn't send the videos when they were too big, like because it was just too
15-20 second limit.
Yeah, like
motherfuckers that record the whole shit, intro
you could
and
just
everything.
be on like the the Facebook Live and
and
that's dangerous. I don't know how. Big ups to all of the kids. What is that generation? Ooh, what is that? X? No. What is that? No, we're millennials. That's the point of the podcast.
No, but we're one of the letters. I just don't know which one it is.
No, we're
Is that for real? I don't-
Dead ass. That's why we
Fact check.
named it this. Whoa.
No, but I thought it was a different name for us. Let me
No.
see.
Wow. What is the one after us? Like 2000s and shit.
What generation?
I met somebody that was born in 2000 and what was it, 2 or 3 or something like that, and it really blew my head off because I was like, wow, like you were born then? Like that doesn't make sense to me if anybody's not born in the 90s. Like anything after 95, I don't even think is like relevant to actual time. That's probably why the world is on fire because after the 90s, does it really even matter?
What generation? Why?
So what are they?
People under us?
Yeah.
Well, Nia.
Well, I'm saying, like, 'cause you're fact checking, right? I said it was like, you know. So what is it, Z?
You can guess.
Come on.
Z, nigga.
Thank you. Like, damn, how hard is it to just...
Come on, bro. Like,
You have to just be a dick all the time. Anyway, so shout out to Z. What they gonna do with the next one? Start doing like AA, BB.
AAAB.
Damn. All right, well, whatever. So back to Jussie because obviously that's where we started. So his story basically was he was going outside to get some Subway at like, I don't know, the wee hours in the, of the night. And
Story already starting off sus.
okay, let's chill.
Rich
Let's
ass man
get
getting
to
Subway.
the story.
Subway not even open
Can
anymore.
we please? Thank you. Damn. So he's going out there. He's getting some food. Allegedly, these 2 white men come up and approach him. They basically jump him, I believe they said a noose around his neck, right? And then they poured bleach on him. Basically left him for dead. Yelled MAGA country and then dipped.
You said what?
They yelled MAGA country and then dipped.
MAGA country? That's a set?
I mean, I guess like. So I guess I really don't know. So I couldn't tell you. But that's the quick recap of what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
So updates have been coming out about this story, and a lot of people were saying that they automatically like believed in him because they also said some what's the words I'm looking for? What slurs are they? Homophobic slurs, right? To him because
you
he is
automatically
gay.
got to side with him for that.
Well, I mean, a lot of people were siding with it simply because how many people did we either A, not know about that, like, received this same type of assault and we'll never know their names, and B, like, how many people did we not believe and it turned out to be true, right? So I think people are erring on the side of caution, and we're just like, I mean, and the story sounded so believable, I think, like, when it first hits your ears, right? Until you kind of like dive deep into the details, right? Overall, he goes outside, he goes to get something to eat. These people jump him, they're racist. Obviously, you would be like, yep, sounds legit, right? So a lot of people off the bat were there for him. Some people, after they kind of dived into the details, said it didn't make any sense. Now, some of the details were like, somebody was on the phone with him at the time they yelled MAGA country, but he didn't want to give up his like police records to the police, or his phone records to the police. There was no recording of like what was happening at all. Some people were like, you were saying Subway don't even be open that early in the morning, so what are you talking about? So it was a lot going on there. So it's come out recently, like the police have put out a statement basically saying that they feel like this was staged. They said that they found these 2 black men who used to be extras on the set of Empire, right? 2 of them were his friends, and it seems as though he's paid these people to attack him to make it look like a homophobic, racist, attack. Whew. Now that everybody's got the story, how do you feel about what's going on?
The first thing I'm gonna say is all this. I never question whether or not someone is telling the truth because that's not my place. I don't know all things. I don't even like the fact that we convict people in our justice system without knowing that someone has done something.
Well, they didn't convict anybody.
I'm
sorry.
giving a parallel.
Yeah, I feel
I'm just saying
okay.
like that. I'm just giving an idea of
We here. I got you.
So I don't like that. That's fun. That's one thing that fundamentally need to know about me when it comes to things like this. With that being said, one thing that really frustrates me about our culture now, as we become more sensitive to what's going on in the world as far as like social justice and people being discriminated against and stuff like that, because we want to give people voices that haven't been heard before, we've adopted this mentality of if someone says something, you automatically believe them. Starting with like, I don't know if it started with the sexual assault thing, but that's the earliest I can remember it. If someone says that, yo, you know what they always say? Someone says something happened, believe them. And it's like, but what if we would have just believed the woman that said the things about Emmett Till?
Well, I mean, people did believe her.
Yeah. Well, we did. As I was saying, what happens when we did. You're right. We did. And look what happened.
Well, not we, white people. Let's be very, I'm sorry. I have to be very clear about that.
You know what I mean?
Never.
And it's like, you know me, one thing about me is I always look at both sides of things, you know, and I feel like in this situation, we were so quick to give a voice to someone that hasn't been heard. And I think there was more, everybody was more appealing more to the queer side of him than the black side of him. Because how often do we see black musical artists? We just seen Bow Wow get his ass kicked by his girlfriend and we laughed at him.
Allegedly. Yeah.
Allegedly. Same as this. And we laughed at him.
I ain't trying to get sued. We got
Allegedly.
3 nickels. Like, we don't got no money.
Bow Wow allegedly got his ass kicked by his girlfriend and we made jokes about it. Granted, there were people that also were pointing out how serious this is. But with this one, we, for some reason, were more on the sensitive side and more empathetic towards it. Now, it could be because we take Jussie more seriously in the world and we love Empire, but I do believe it has something to do with the fact that he is
I
queer.
love Empire. That show was ass.
Hey, bro, I don't even watch it. I do think it has something to do with the fact that he is queer and that there is, in our world that we live in today, there's more of a sensitivity to what queer people are going through. And sometimes that leads to that mentality of if they say something, believe it.
Nia.Biaa. I don't know. It's tough because, like I said, what happens when we don't believe them, right? What happens when we don't believe the little black boy? When all we've been caping for is listening to the little black boy? What happens when we don't listen to the queer person?
I think
when we've been caping for listening to the queer people, because, like, no funny shit outside of him and his alleged, like, lies, right? People have been dying. Like, this is it's not a game. So I think for a lot of people, they would rather err on the side of caution, right? Because statistically, when someone's telling something like this, they're not lying, right? I don't know what the actual statistics are, but it's the same with, like, sexual assault. Like, it was like 90% of people who are coming forward with this is not lying about being sexual assaulted. Yet we don't believe even half of that number of people who come forward. So I think, especially with, like, the queerness, like, it's the same thing. At what point do we save each other? You know, what point do we blindly believe each other? And it's so fucked up because if he is lying, right, then you've ruined it. Like, for so many people to come forward and tell their story and be believed.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, now that you've lied, other people probably don't want to come forward. And the ones that do come forward, we're going to have to think about this person and say, well, shit, he paid people. I'm like $3,000 each or some ridiculous to say these things, and like inflammatory things. Like, he picked all the right, I don't know, like stereotypes and identities, like that are pressure points, right? MAGA country, so you automatically think, you know, identify as a white male, you know, homophobic, you know, straight white male, like everything that the core black person is like knee-jerkingly gonna revolt against, right? And you picked all these things. Now what happens to all the other real victims? Like, they have to be, I don't know, it's a fine line. Like, I would rather initially believe than to initially not believe, and then it comes out that it was like dead ass true, versus like this story. It just sucks that it was allegedly, it's false.
It makes me think of so many things. It's
It does, right?
Told
you we had some bullshit today.
The first thing I want to point out, and one thing I want to say is this: you can listen to someone without believing them. I think the issue in the past has been that we haven't been listening to people. Women will complain about their husbands beating them. We don't listen to them. It's not about whether or not we believe them. We didn't even give them a voice. So you can come to me and tell me, yo, a child can come to me, yo, my mother is doing this to me. Mm-hmm. I can listen to you. Doesn't mean I have to believe you. Now, if I listen, that means I have to go explore it. I have to go investigate. But believing it automatically means that because you said something, this is true. That is not the case. And I think we have to get away from that. You can listen to someone without believing them, and we can't combine those two concepts. So with this situation, we can listen to this person. We can go investigate. But we can't immediately start damning people because of what we've heard.
Yeah.
And I think there are times where we get towards that. We've seen it with, we was just listening to some podcast in Charlemagne. Somebody was talking about that, how like somebody said something and they immediately, even the way people start talking about it. It was Eve. It was Eve on the,
when she was talking about Chris Brown or something like that?
You don't even know if it really happened yet.
Yeah.
And we're already hyped up like, yeah, and this is wrong and da-da-da. And people have to be mindful of, you might be speaking in a hypothetical, but sound bites are powerful too.
That's that social media age. Like, it's great as it is, because it really is great to have literally everything at your fingertips. But at the same time, yeah, it is damning. Mm-hmm. I mean, because I saw MAGA country and I was ready.
You was ready to go.
Let's go get them. Revolution is starting today. Mm-hmm. Like, you done fucked with the wrong black queer man. Like, but at the same time, again, it's really hard because, I don't know, I just can't see any more little black boys in the street. I just can't. It's hard. Like, it hurts my heart. So I'm always ready to go. And maybe that you're speaking to people like me because I'm gonna be like, oh,
rightfully so.
Fuck
you've been conditioned to do that as a black woman. So
then like it's hard because it's like, well, then what do we do after that? I don't know.
And another thing it makes me think about is, well, before I even go into this point, where you go from it is you don't lose that compassion, you don't lose that empathy. But one thing I always say to people, everyone doesn't deserve every part of you.
Oh, yeah.
And every situation doesn't deserve every part of you. Like, it's not fair that you, like, black women have to be the emotional caregivers. You have to be the activist. You have to, you can. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but you don't have to. And I think you reserve the right when you hear something. I'm going to wait and find out first. As women were saying, I can't remember what it was last year, but they were saying, like, yo, we need to find out first.
What was it, like the Me Too movement? Maybe?
It was something. I can't remember what it was, but people were really upset that black women weren't supporting this person.
Oh, shit, that's everybody.
And they were like, we need to find out first before we can
start caping for whatever this person is.
I mean,
I just guess, like, because of the person he is and the family he's connected to, and the status of him, you wouldn't think like, oh, somebody would be lying about that. But then I guess we kind of forget that celebrities are people too, and they do dumb shit just like everybody else does. Identity. Yeah, they just got money. That's the only difference. You got money to pay $3,000. Hey, Jussie, let me tell you something. You want to spend $6,000 on something? I got a tuition bill for that ass. Okay, if you don't want tuition, I got books. I need to eat. What else we need at the house?
I got a podcast I'm trying to pop off.
That's that's cool too. Invest in, you subscribe, but stop lying to people though. But
that's a soundbite. See?
Oh shit! Now they're gonna get us out of here.
And it's a thing. Like
we just got here and they're gonna get us out of here already.
One thing I always say is you have to be mindful of when you have a platform. There's certain things you can say, but just be mindful of the impact that it has. Because I could take some shit out, edit it a few times, and boom. Motherfuckers
guilty. 5.5, yeah.
But one thing, remember we said we were going to talk about this, but I forgot. But thankfully you brought this up. Remember I was saying, in this era that we're in right now, do people in the LGBTQIA community have to take responsibility for the fact that they do have a certain level of power in the world, and recognize that some people are doing harm with it? Because before, I remember it was like a year or two ago, I had pointed out, like, some people might be lying about what they're experiencing. While it might be coming from a place of pain because of something that may have actually happened to them. But there are some people that are using their identity in a harmful way. Remember I told you, I knew someone recently that was looking at other women while they were in the locker room or checking out women. And they were queer themselves. A woman was checking out other women. And once I told someone this, I was like, yo, like, there's a reason why
That's predatory, yeah.
Yeah,
You
and
wouldn't allow a man to walk into
exactly
a space. I can understand what you're saying.
One time I had said to someone, I said, yo, like, one reason that heterosexual people feel uncomfortable around queer people in those intimate places, locker room, dressing room, things like that, is because they feel like they're being checked out. And everybody's saying, like, well, you just assume that every single queer person likes you. It's not that. There are some people that are just predatory in nature, and that's separate from their social identity.
I mean, yeah, but then that gets hard because you have that argument where it's like, all right, not all black people are down for the culture, right? Mm-hmm. So we've got some black people that you just sit there and be like, yo, like, can we please get the white trade in? Someone, please get Gordon Ramsay and trade him in for the black culture. Somebody, right? Yeah. So it's like, we can argue that, and I totally get what you're saying. Mm-hmm. Like, some people are just horrible ass people, and it doesn't really matter.
Identity, yeah.
A social identity, yeah. Any identity that you hold, it really doesn't matter if you're trash. Like, you know what that should be? Trash should be an identity. You are trash. It doesn't matter. Whatever else the fuck you are. If you're a bad person, you're a bad person. If you're doing things that you know would make people uncomfortable, or it's just not right, or racist, homophobic, whatever, all the isms and phobics and yada, 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 just understand that you are trash. Yeah, so we're just going to label you as trash, and it is what it is. And, but I think, to your point, it's really hard to argue that, because then you get into something that you say you don't like doing, which is stereotyping a group, right? Mm-hmm. Based off of what? A handful of people that hold those identities. Unfortunately, like...
No, well, let me try to clarify again a little bit more. What I'm trying to say is, as a black person, right? As a black person, I have to acknowledge that there are some black people who use this color of their skin in a way to take advantage of things, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. And I acknowledge that.
Yeah.
Would you agree? Do you agree with that? Do you agree that there are some black... I feel in conversations I've had with people who are queer, they are unwilling to acknowledge the fact that some queer people use their identity in a harmful way.
Well, then, you know what? Maybe we just got to get somebody up here, to kind of speak. I don't want to say speak on behalf, because I hate feeling like that one black person in the white class, and then, everybody's like, let's talk about Africa, and all the heads swivel towards you, but... Maybe we can get a couple people up here to kind of have that conversation, because I don't think we would be able to do it justice as two straight people in a room. But I see what you're saying. I think it's tough for them, because
they come so far and you don't want to let it go. You don't want to even...
Nobody does. Like, if you were to go to a black person and be like, so we're going to admit that black people are prejudiced or whatever the case may be. A lot of people are like, I'm not prejudiced because I'm black. No. You are still prejudiced, but we don't want to let that go because of all the pain that we've received, and that could be where it's coming from, but I really don't know. So I guess we'll just figure it out when we have them up there. All right, well, you good?
Yeah, I'm chilling.
All right, cool. Moving on. So we have, all right, so this one really got me pissed, right? So we had this little boy. He is a Florida 6th grader that is facing a misdemeanor charges after refusing to stand during the Pledge of Allegiance. Now, let me tell you how this story had me all the way fucked up. Left, right, up, down, diagonally, whatever you want to call it. At what point was that a requirement for a 6-year-old to be facing actual charges, not like detention, because you're still imposing your whiteness on me.
It's in Florida, right?
Yeah, in
Florida. That state is wild.
Wow, yeah, it's Florida. I'm sorry.
I be trying to get the South out of here. Let that whole part of the country just go.
You ever see that Bugs Bunny meme where he's cutting Florida off and Florida's like floating away? And, shit, if we could save some of all the black people, then...
I'm hungry.
All right, anyway. But yeah, so like the little boy, like basically like told his teachers, and shout out to this little man, like for real, we should have him on the podcast. But he basically told them that it's rooted in whiteness, and I'm not standing up for it because it's racist. It's a racist flag. It stands for racist things, and I'm not doing it. 6th grader. I said, yo, mama and daddy, boy, yeah.
Young Malcolm.
Okay, you better let him know. And all I could think of was like when I was younger, because my mom's a social studies teacher, she explained to me what the Pledge of Allegiance meant, what the national anthem meant, and all these different things. And, you know, she's really big on the, you know, black diaspora and all this other stuff. And she told me, if you don't want to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, you don't have to stand. I had to be in like the fifth grade, maybe. At first, I was just happy to not have to stand up during the Pledge of Allegiance.
Does she stand for the national anthem and all that type of
my
stuff?
mom?
Yeah.
I don't think she does. I know I don't. For, you know, my own. I personally don't remember, because I remember she said she doesn't make her students stand for the flag, or, so I doubt it. You know, I highly doubt it. But like I said, when I was younger, I was just happy. Yeah, but we're not gonna talk. We'll get into my father later. Anyways, though, I was just happy to not be able to stand up for something as a little kid. The more that I appreciated my blackness and where we've come as a people, as a country, this, that, and the third, I was like, fuck that flag, fuck everything about this country. I don't necessarily feel like I need to stand. And not only do I not necessarily feel like I need to, it is literally my right.
Yeah.
So at what point do we get people the fuck out of here for real? Because, like, that is out of this world to charge a little. I guess the teacher was a substitute, but that's no excuse. What I can't stand are people who are going into these neighborhoods, teaching these kids, and y'all don't give a fuck about them, their plight, any of their experiences, of their mother, grandfather, whatever. And you decide that was a good idea. And not only did you call the police, but the police officers actually charged them like idiots. I know I'm ranting right now, but please interject at any time, because I will go on all day about how none of this
no
shit
point in me
makes sense.
interjecting, because I know you in your bag right now. So
Yo, fuck all these people. I just don't get it. At what point does my voice, like, they should just dead ass take all the rights away. I mean, at this point, like, because they're just up there for decoration. We could just burn the decoration. It wasn't meant for us to begin with. But I'm a little perturbed by. I am a little kid being arrested for not standing for the flag, the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm bugging. I must be bugging. I must have lost my damn
I don't know, like, this
mind.
one thing I know is like, one thing I had to learn is that there's federal laws and there's state laws. As I always say, there's 50 countries in this motherfucker. Like, 50 different countries.
And they all racist, apparently.
New York is doing pretty good.
No, it's not.
New York is doing.
Stop and frisk is not a good thing. Oh, we just gonna act like that's
Young
not
Jehovah saved us. We good.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right. we're all
good.
saved from racism. Thanks, Jay-Z.
Yeah, Jay-Z got us.
All right.
But like,
This is why we needed Andrew Gullum to be governor of that goddamn state. I just, like, I really, like, you know, it's one of those things where you're kind of like scrolling through whatever, and you're just like, wait, I know I didn't just see what I think I just saw. I could just imagine my fourth grade year old self getting arrested for. First of all, my mother would have burned that jail to the actual ground, along with the school and the teachers who thought it was a good idea to arrest a fourth grader. But I just was like wondering. I don't have nothing. I don't.
Yo, like, I don't. You know, as you were speaking, I'm watching you get so hyped up about it. And
Because I'd be damned.
How normalized is this for me that I don't even feel anything? Like, I just, because you know what bothers me. You know what I'm thinking about. It is like I thought about it a little bit. I'm like, okay, you know what bothers me? Now we have entered this child, or they are more likely to be in the prison system. You have an arrest on your record, right?
That's some bullshit.
How old are you when you 6th grade? You like 12, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know how the prison pipeline system works and everything and all that type of stuff, and education and everything. So with this is just kind of like, well, we just introducing handcuffs to black kids at a young age. My assuming the kid was black, right?
Oh,
all right, cool. I didn't know, but
they ain't arresting a little white kid for not standing for
could have
the
been Hispanic.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Could have been Hispanic. Could have been what you call it, Middle Eastern, whatever the case may be. But I don't know. It don't even faze me anymore. You know, like it's just kind of like, all right, you know, Florida on some bullshit again. You know what I mean? Like America on some bullshit again. I know we got to get 45 out, but it's so much bigger than 45. Like this should be like a national outrage for all of the white people who always
get real red in the face when we tell them that they can't say like the F word or the N word and their free speech and their right to all this other dumb shit. And then we show you your rights are not our rights. And then instead of saying, like being reflective and saying, you know what, you right. At least bare minimum, let me give you the same right. We throw you in jail. Jail? This little boy, jail? Tell me you wouldn't lose all faith in damn near everything. It's either conform or get locked up. How are we better than any other country?
Never claimed to be.
Oh, we have. White women.
I've never.
Oh, I'm just saying.
I've never claimed to be. I don't believe in America that much. I don't believe in anything this much. Anything in the world. I think, like I one thing you used to hear me say a lot was, I'm willing to like, stand on my morals and everything and yada yada yada. And then as I've gone through a very tough and trying time of my life now, grad school and everything, and I can't take none of this stuff to heaven with me. So one thing I'm gonna teach people now, I'm gonna tell people like, listen, keep yourself safe. It ain't worth it, because this shit's not gonna change. I just fundamentally believe that our world...
that's disgusting.
Our world is...
I fundamentally disagree, but...
Here's why I don't think it's going to change, right? If it's not... I always say this. If it's not one thing, it'll be something else. Human beings are instinctively... elitist. We're instinctively hierarchical, I should say. Mm-hmm. I want to be better than you. It's in us. Because if shit goes left, I'm eating you. We are naturally competitive. That is, to me, the foundation of racism, the foundation of sexism, the foundation of all the isms and the phobias and all the type of stuff that we know to be true in our world. So it's like...
So what? I'm just supposed to be like, yeah, little boy, they threw you in jail. Listen, next time, just stand up for the flag. Don't fight it. Don't do anything. You just sit in your place in the world. You don't, make no fuss. Nothing bad to happen to you.
No, if you're willing to take those consequences, go ahead.
Well, then that doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's the thing. If you want to fight to change it, by all means.
Yeah, but then you're saying that what I just said about that it aligns with your...
Oh, me saying it's not going to change?
Yeah.
That's what I said. I just don't...
So you don't want to fight?
I said that we will never fundamentally change the whole thing.
Well, maybe not, but that doesn't mean a 6-year-old, or I'm sorry, not a 6-year-old, 12-year-old boy should be thrown in jail for some bullshit.
He shouldn't.
Like,
that's the thing. I never said that he
I
should
never
either.
said you did, but I'm saying that's the reason why we fight, because 12-year-old little boy should not be in jail for not being able, like, standing for the flag. Like,
he put on his big boy activist pants.
Yeah, and that's cool, and I'm not taking away from that. But at what point do we say that's bullshit? Because that's literally his right to do so. But that's what I'm saying. Like, so you might not think the whole thing will change. Maybe it won't. Maybe it will. Who knows? But, like, that's dangerous almost to be like, we're not changing this.
I said no. Let me try to...
Let me take my feelings out of it, because I'm on 10.
Let me try to rephrase it. I do believe that we can change things on a micro level. Mm-hmm. We've changed things. We've gotten voting rights to a certain extent. We've gotten, better education systems to a certain extent. Educational equality to a certain extent. Things have changed. Mm-hmm. But fundamentally, nothing has changed. And that's what I mean. Fundamentally, if it isn't racism, we will create something else.
Maybe so.
That is who we are. And that is what I'm saying when I say that I don't have that feeling of one day the world is going to be great and perfect, because that's not what this world is. I don't believe this is supposed to be heaven.
Well, I don't think it is either. I don't ever want to get to the point where I'm ready to have kids and my kid is, there, and I tell them they don't have to stand up for the flag. They don't stand up for the flag and they get arrested. Understand, you might not feel that way, but I'm going to take my mother's approach and we going to burn this thing to the ground until somebody start acting right. So you can act right because it's a good thing to do, or you can act right because I'm making you do it. And I promise you, you ain't going to like how I make you do it. So... for all you other people out there who might want to try me, you can go ahead. Go ahead. It's not gonna work though. Let's do something a little less inflammatory because I feel like all of our topics today highly inflammatory.
No. It's you who's inflamed. I'm chilling.
Anyway, so Bernie Sanders has announced his run for president.
Uncle Bernie's
Feel
the burn.
back. So I'm feeling like the Democratic Party has a lot of.
We just need to have a Bernie party, like honestly, because
Can we just? Can I get through the?
yeah, the Democratic Party is just wild. The party system just. Sorry.
I mean, none of it matters, obviously, but can we at least get somebody who's got like two, like it doesn't have like the what's it called, the Energizer Bunny clapping the symbols in between his fucking brain. That'd be great. Because I think Bernie is actually like independent, but in order to win, you're gonna need a big backing. Yeah, which is gonna be Democratic. If anything, I guess my question to you is like when I was like, Generation Y. When do we start paying attention to this election? Like, when does it actually even matter? Because you got to cast that vote. Trump is coming back. He's running again. He's already said it. Mm-hmm. So, what do we do?
Well, I think, first off, this isn't, at this point, as far as people, if you're a holdover from the last election, then you probably might be familiar with Bernie. So, you might know some of his policies and stances. If not, this is a great time for you over the course of the next year or so. Take 15 minutes, not even 5 minutes every day or every week or something like that. Read up on who Bernie Sanders is. Please don't. Or
anybody.
Yeah, please don't vote for anyone because they're black. We really lucked it.
All right.
No. Let me continue. Because by that logic, we will vote for Ben Carson.
No.
Oh, exactly. So therefore.
But I mean, like, I really don't care. Well, I would prefer not to be Republican. But if the best candidate is like Republican and he will get Trump the fuck up out of here, please, by all means.
Yeah.
Like,
because at the end of the day, yeah, we all hated McCain. I bet you we take McCain right now.
No.
We'll take McCain right now.
No, I would have taken Bernie when we should have had Bernie.
The options were, this is why I know you a millennial. The options were.
I know what the options were and they got voted. I'm saying.
I said, if you took Trump or McCain, who would you take? And I'm telling you, everybody over here would take McCain. At least the man.
I'm running my damn self if those were the two options, because neither one of them.
But yeah, you asked that, what I think somebody could do over the next little while, and like I said, just take some time. We have a lot of time now to find out about who this person is and other people.
We have a lot of like Kamala Harris, I believe.
Kamala Harris, Cory Booker.
Mm-hmm. Warren, what's her name? It's not Buffett. Shit.
It's not Warren Buffett.
What is her name? Something Buffett or something Warren. I feel like, but she's also announced that she was running. Mm-hmm. I think a few other people are trying to, throw their hat in the ring. Honestly, I'm going to take my time to look at everybody once everybody's kind of like announced it and kind of, do it that way. But that could be damned. As long as they come in with the right stuff to do and they know that whatever Trump did, we need to reverse. Mm-hmm. All that shit the last couple of years. That's, what, you got my vote 10 times. And please, people, when it gets to the voting time, can we just stop with the games and writing in Beyonce or Rihanna?
People do that.
No, people were. I really believe that's why Shorty didn't win by a landslide last time.
Who?
Hillary. One, because all the white women voted for Trump. I bet they asses don't like that shit now. But they thought that shit was a good idea. But there were other people who just fucked around and was like writing Bernie's name in, writing, celebrities' names in, writing their own names in. Cause,
being stupid, yeah.
Yeah, being dumb. And then look what we ended up with. Now we've got government shutdowns and all those other emergencies and all this other stuff.
Please, y'all, please do not take a picture of your stuff.
People are taking pictures of their
ballots. Invalidating their vote. Lord,
Hillary couldn't win for nothing.
Yo, because we just a bunch of dumbasses. Like, just please,
Yikes.
just vote and go tell your friends at home, please.
All right, look, we got more stuff to talk about.
Yeah, and I just want to point out that you didn't go in order, and so you kind of came at me for that. I just want to know that you didn't go in order, but we good. Continue.
I never came at you for not going in order. I said that you were following the wrong docket last time. You were on a whole different page than
Meaning I was not going in the order that we had planned.
No. Meaning that you weren't following the topics at all. You had completely different topics.
False.
That's not false, because when I took You know what? I fell right into that one. You were about to give me time. I was about to go in that ass. But anyway. All right. So, so I just wanted to quickly talk about this. We can get through it. It's the first one on the list since you are very struggling with the whatever order I picked. So we've heard about Gucci recently and their fuck shit, their sweater with the blackface that you could pull over that people are definitely arguing is blackface. And then we've got our coon black people who are telling us that we're wildin'. Shout out to Kodak. And what's that man's name? Floyd Mayweather. So he posted a picture today in all Gucci and was born a leader was the caption. And I really sat there and was like, your mother must have dropped you one too many times. Something must have happened. I don't know what happened, but God bless. Right? But my problem isn't just with Gucci, right? So, we saw a few months ago, Prada put out the monkey keychain that looked like a black person with blackface. We saw Katy Perry shoes at the Grammys or whatever last award show that was, that looked like blackface. You've got Montclair a couple of, I want to say maybe a year ago with their, blackface jacket. Burberry just put out in their fashion show, they had a noose around someone's neck and it had, what was it that they said? I said, y'all really out here tripping. So Burberry had a hoodie design with a noose around its neck, and they're apologizing. So my issue is not just with Gucci. My issue is with big brands, big fat high fashion industry, that the ones that all the superstars run to spend all their money on. Us as regular folk, we might not be spending all our money on Gucci, right? They might have a belt, maybe a shoe, I don't know, a jacket, whatever the case may be. But how do we get the celebrities to really sit there and go, all right, enough is a little bit of enough, Everybody talks about supporting black business and all that great shit, and then you're still decked out in Gucci, or you're still decked out in Prada, and you're still decked out in all these different things. At what point do we give up the white man's dream of what fashion looks like and what it's supposed to mean to our own culture? Because it's our culture, right? I'm talking about like hip hop, R&B culture. Yeah, it's all about. Damn. Okay. Like the mic, bro.
You relax. Somebody hear that shit, man. Yeah.
Anyways.
Keep talking.
So, at what point do we give that up? Like, what point do we say that's not worth our culture and y'all making fun of us, so we can turn around and be in all Gucci and all Prada and all this and all that, when those people clearly don't give a fuck about us? They clearly don't have anybody in the design room saying, hold on, y'all, an actual monkey, we might be taking this shit a little bit too far, because the regular consumer isn't doing it. So what's happening? How do we get this shit to stop?
I think that important thing is just stop looking for our celebrity, quote unquote, I'm got air quotes now, heroes to come save us. I don't give a fuck if Floyd buys all that shit. Like, if I could give back my goddamn Gucci flip flops, I would. But I bought them, and me burning them like the white people, Nike.
That's dumb. I bought them already.
It's already here. It is what it is. But I'll be damned if I go and do that shit again. I realized that was it was a splurge and it was a gift to myself, but I'm looking at Floyd and I'm like, that's an example of someone who's getting their confidence from whiteness. You know what I mean? Like, how many times do people feel like they made it when they got white things? When
they're able to pay for all of the high-end brands that they can't pronounce, all that stuff doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah,
so I think, you know what I mean? Because we left that regular shit. I left that hood shit. I don't do that hood shit no more. I'm on this other shit. So, you ask, what do we do? And I think, like I said, it's just continue to be yourself. You wear your New Balance sneakers. I wear my H&M, you know what I mean? Like my $20, $30.
I don't wear H&M.
Hey, bro, that's what I can afford. My $20, $30 stuff. You know what I mean? My streetwear.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, okay, so for somebody, let's say this podcast, I don't know, skyrockets, right? And we become something out of control. You've got $2 million in the bank, right? You go and spend your money all at Gucci. Not all of it, but you spending wild amounts at Gucci and shit. That's who I'm talking to. The people who are the entrepreneurs, which is basically every friend I have. Not to say they wouldn't, because they way too black for some shit like that. But how do we speak to other people and tell them like, why are you spending $2,000 on some shoes? I could make you some shoes for $2,000 if that's really how you feel. But when you're giving your money to people who obviously don't care about you, and to be honest, some of that shit really does not look that good. You just wearing it because it has that brand on it, and the culture is saying that it's that nice. But at what point can we say like, shit, we gave all our money to Off-White, why we can't give all our money to other black brands that's really out here trying to break that barrier of being high fashion, or even just, I don't know what high fashion and regular fashion is, but even being regular fashion, when do we give them that praise and give us that money back? Because you're giving it to white people that don't even like you. Like, these are people who don't like you.
You're making it seem as if there's black people at Nike.
Huh?
You're making it seem like there's black people at Nike.
I'm not, but these people are, like, Nike is not blatantly trying to be racist, right? They're not blatantly trying to be racist. Like, you can even argue with, like, the Colin Kaepernick ad and all this other stuff, the Serena Williams backing and all this other stuff that they've been doing, like, the last, 5-6 years or whatever. They've really been trying to make it more inclusive for everybody, right? Show the people, even if it is a money grab, I am behind you and your cause, right? To the point where you had people that are racist or homophobic or whatever burning their stuff. You know what I mean? That's a very, like big, decision to make, right? You're gonna lose this much money to support these people. I can stand behind something like that.
Okay.
I'm not saying that we have to stop buying white brands. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, at what point do we stop giving our money to people who obviously do not give a fuck? Because Prada obviously didn't give a fuck. Moncler obviously did not give a fuck. Gucci obviously did not give a fuck. Because you don't have anybody of color in there. Well, other people of color can be racist too. But you don't have anyone in there saying like, yo, bro, I don't think this is it. And then when it does happen, most people are like, sorry. But here's the sell, though.
I can't tell nobody to do that because like I said, one argument we had around the Kanye thing when that was happening.
Man, fuck Kanye.
Separating artists from, their beliefs and actions. At the end of the day, like, what does, like...
Separating an artist from beliefs and actions?
Yeah. Like, I can listen to someone's music and not agree with their beliefs and actions.
No.
You say that, but I'm assuming that you don't agree with what the Migos do. Like, I'm assuming you don't think it's right to sell drugs to the community, shoot and kill people. I'm assuming you don't agree with 21 Savage's old lifestyle.
21, I hope if you're listening, you understand, I agree with everything you did, baby. I understand the situation we're in. Don't let these people hold you back. Free 21. Oh, he's free. Never mind. But like,
and you'll be the first one talking about how you need better black representation and yada, yada, yada. Right? So therefore, I always say, I aim to be as consistent as I possibly can. So if I'm gonna tell people that, yo, you shouldn't buy from this company because they promoted something bad, well then I probably shouldn't be consuming music from people that do something I don't agree with. I'm
not saying that. I'm saying, when do we stop giving all of our money to the white man that does not care about us? Like, there are people who do bad things, right? And that's situational. All that stuff is situational. But we're seeing a lot of these this is all within like a year of each other. Some of the stuff within weeks, not even within weeks of each other. There's a message being put out here. We do we just not care about? So you're gonna separate Gucci from the clothes? Like, the clothes is really that fire that we can?
Is the music that fire?
Huh?
Is the music that fire?
I'm guessing for some people, yeah.
So for you, I'm asking for you.
It depends on what it is. Like, it depends on the person. It depends on the situation they had. Did they grow up like that? I can't blame somebody for falling into a system that...
Is Migos music that fire for you?
I don't know their story. First of all, I don't know if they're even telling the truth. They could be lying. Come on, don't even do that.
Don't do that.
Nah, you just got me tight.
I don't know if they're telling the truth. Come on now, bro. Okay, but you still putting something out there.
Migos was in people.
You still putting the rhetoric out there.
Sure, but we have to also understand that the system that they're working in. So we're just gonna we can't say like that one thing is better, one sin is better than the like. Come on, bro. We really gonna do that?
You really be finding a way to make excuses.
No, I'm dead ass. You really gonna sit here and say like racism isn't a thing? Like, we shouldn't tell people to not do those things. So you know what you sound like to me right now? All those people where you're like, oh, a white person shot this black person, we need to put them in jail. And you're like, but what about all the other black on black crime? That's what you sound like to me right now. And that makes me very frustrated. Because we're not talking about that other stuff. Not to say that other stuff is right. But does that mean that it, like, invalidates the fact that these people are dead ass being blatantly racist? And people are giving their money to this stuff?
I hear you on that. What I can argue that without bringing up anything else as well. What I would say to
But you didn't, though.
I said I can, and I will. What did that do for the conversation?
Huh?
What did that do for the conversation?
No, I'm just saying, but you didn't. I was pointing it out. But you knee-jerkingly went there. And there's a reason why you knee-jerkingly went there. And I'm trying to say, like, is there a reason we can't point out this stuff without pointing out something else? Like,
because
why?
I've told you I argue in parallels.
Sure.
I argue in parallels, but I can argue specifically within this. I'm assuming the reason why so when you're telling people don't give their money to these companies, you're saying don't give it to the white man. I'm assuming you mean don't give it to the white man because they've done something bad, right? Mm-hmm. Not because they're white.
I'm saying because they're continuously doing bad things.
Not because they're white.
Huh?
Not because they're white.
It's both. These are big white companies, right?
That are doing bad things.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So, are you saying...
Or boycott them at least until they get their shit together. Something has to be done. I don't understand why we're just blindly giving away our money like this.
So what you're saying is that boycotting these companies and not giving them our money is going to accomplish what?
By not giving them the money?
What is it going? What is your?
Why am I giving you my black dollar? I can put my black dollar. I am answering the question. But what I was getting ready to explain, why am I giving you my black dollar when I can give my black dollar to somebody who at least is gonna pretend to appreciate me, even if Nike doesn't give a fuck? At least they're pretending.
Oh, so the illusion is enough for you.
When you have to change other people's mind, yes, that shit matters. Even if that person isn't 100% there, that ally matters.
You
Those
still
people.
have to answer the question, though.
I just did answer the
Can you
question.
answer in a way by not asking a question?
I don't think that's fair.
I'm just asking.
If I'm answering
if I don't understand it, I need you to rephrase it.
So what part don't you understand?
The whole thing. I need you to rephrase it in a statement, not a question.
From what point, then? You gotta give me better than the whole thing.
I'm gonna ask the question again. What are you trying to accomplish by not giving them your money?
I want to put my money where it will be more beneficial than to give some white rich man more money. So that they can put out more racist things and not give a fuck, but still take our dollar. Does that make sense?
So from what you just said, you're saying that you are hoping to give more money to black things.
I would prefer to do that, yes. I would rather put my money where it counts versus giving it to someone else.
So it's not about changing their racist...
I would like to do that, but not everybody's going to change.
So is it one of those? Is it both? Is it...
Why it can't be...
I didn't say it can't be. I just asked you, is it one or is it both?
But that was my answer, so yeah, it would be all
Both.
of them. You asking me that doesn't make sense.
Okay, cool. No, because... Anyway. So, if you... So the two things you want is to put more money into the black-owned things, and you also want to eventually hopefully change their mentality and stuff like that, right? By boycotting and everything. Okay. So, would you be okay with celebrities, I should say, that also buy black-owned things?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Would you be okay with celebrities that buy black-owned things and they put their money in and they buy Gucci stuff as well?
No, because I need you to not give it to that. Why are you giving it to Gucci? Like, what is it that Gucci has over you that you can't give your money? So
because it looks nice.
Okay, if that's your thing, then okay.
Yes.
But we're not teaching them anything if we continue to give them our money. We're not teaching them that the action that they're taking right now is not okay. And a lot of people will stop doing certain things or will, work to improve how they're doing certain things when their money starts to get low. Unfortunately, that's what a lot of people listen to. So stop giving your money to that person and they will listen. They will change things.
Is it my responsibility because I made some money to be an educator now and a social activist?
if you want people to buy your stuff.
No, I'm talking about
Yeah.
me as a celebrity. You're telling me I need to, like, I shouldn't buy that stuff because they'll listen to me.
A lot of celebrities claim to be those things. Yes. Then yes.
Is it my responsibility? As soon as I make a certain amount of money and I become a celebrity, is it my responsibility now? Can you answer this in a yes or no?
To me personally, yes.
Okay, cool.
I think.
I disagree.
I know you do. We've had this conversation before, but I feel. Ooh, you do have a responsibility to the people that look up to you. And hey, if you want to like have yourself be labeled as a coon, by all means.
So, do you, as a person who's made it out and making a certain amount of money now, because you make more than other people around you than you grew up with, so do you have a responsibility to always do right?
Yeah.
Do you always do right?
No, because I'm human, but that necessarily doesn't take away the responsibility aspect of it.
So then, therefore,
I still promote black things. I still promote helping the community. I still promote being a mentor to people. You know what I mean? Like, I try and give my money to, you know, black brands as much as I can. You know, I search for these things. I do it because I want to be a, role model for other people from my neighborhood, from the schools I've come, you know, from. Yeah, I do. I personally feel like I have to lead in that sense. Yeah.
and yet we just went shopping probably like a month ago and you were in H&M, but you were saying that they shouldn't. It's not okay for them to shop black owned and also buy the white things. So what makes you different from them?
I never said that it makes me different. I said that I don't always do everything right. But what I also said was we're not the people who are buying Gucci. I don't have the money to solely buy black things.
But you went to H&M.
I don't have the money to solely buy black things. That's just what it is. A lot of the times, unfortunately, I go to and I search for black things, and it's very expensive. That's outside of my dollar amount. It's not outside of their dollar amount. You're shelling away $2,000 for shoes, and that $2,000 can go anywhere, right? If you really wanted to pay, I'm sure there's $2,000 worth of shoes in a black company, but you chose not to. You chose to do that somewhere else. So you can try and highlight, you know, where I spend my money and things of that nature, or the things that I might do that like help white businesses or whatever the case may be. But I'm not in a position where I can solely live off of, you know, black businesses.
Yes, you can.
Sure. That's subjective. Sure. But the lifestyle I'm living right now, I don't think that that's something that I am willing to do at this point, because I'm struggling in other areas.
Well, no, it wouldn't be expensive. What I'm saying is, like, you can buy FUBU. I'm assuming you can buy FUBU.
FUBU is no longer.
Well, I'm saying, like, at that time, I'm saying, like, FUBU.
But I did. My mother did, though.
Right, and at this point, I'm assuming you can afford, like, what's that thing called? I can't think of that damn company. Oh Lord. So, like, remember when they had like baby fat and all those type of things and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So
I supported Sean John. I supported baby fat.
you would wear that stuff now. Those are things you can buy now because those are the equivalents.
Sean John is still being produced.
Yes.
That's something I did not know.
There's a lot of black things that are being made. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You go on the streetwear websites; these are made by black people.
Yeah.
So then,
but you see the difference between for somebody that is Floyd Mayweather, right, and has millions in the bank. Sorry. If I need a pair of jeans and I'm buying it from a black-owned place and the pair of jeans is $80 versus I don't necessarily have the $80 to give, but I have $20. And unfortunately, there's a seller at H&M that's selling the jeans for $20. I'm a little bit more limited in how I can... Like, when I spend my black dollar, I'm very, like... what's the word? I'm very cautious and I take those measurements. How can I save my money to buy this black thing? Right.
So, sorry.
But he doesn't have to do that. He's willingly doing it. So
you get a pass because
it's not about women.
No, but I'm saying you get a pass because you don't have the financial. You perceive to not have the same financial restraints that he has. You get a pass, is what it sounds like. Because
it's not a pass though. It's literally about economic status. I'm not gonna sit here and act as if that's not a thing. And again, it still feels as if like you know, a white person did something and it's like, well, black on black crime. Like, which one are we arguing about here? Are you more worried about me and my morals and things of that nature? And if my morals don't exactly line up or if my actions don't exactly line up, then what I'm saying is invalid.
I just don't like the fact that my thing is this. I don't like the fact that we work so hard to let black people be free, and then afterwards now they get out and then we're telling them how they need to live.
Because we're not all free.
So it's just crabs in a barrel. Motherfucker gets out. We like,
I'm
yo,
not
you ain't.
pulling him. Me to like saying that he should be more aware and be like you are a role model. He wants to be a role model in every other way, right?
How so?
And if he wants to be the best boxer in the world, he wants to
You're not a role model.
Huh?
Not a role model. You just want to be good at what you do.
No, but I'm saying like he goes around and he promotes that about himself. He wants to be the best and encourage other people to be the best. Like
I've never heard Floyd say anything about that.
Sure, you might not have but
you
that
heard that?
doesn't. Yes, that's what I'm. That's what I'm saying.
No, the way you just worded it doesn't mean anything about him being a role model. It just says that he's trying to be the
No, but
best.
I'm saying that's what people do when they go out and they like say they want to help people. You open this boxer gym so that you can have more people come in and want to be boxers, whatever the
I'm gonna
case
have to
may
look
be.
that up.
Sure, I'm not saying he said that about the boxer thing, but he has said he wanted to be a role model. That's what I'm saying.
All right.
That was an example. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is,
as far as boxing,
you asking me all those questions really fucked up my thing. Next time, can I just talk? That'd be great. Anyway, damn, now you fucked me up, bro. All right, well, anyway. We may have different opinions on it, but I really do feel like, black people should be rich black people should definitely pay a little bit more attention to where they're giving that black dollar and how they have more autonomy to shift the culture and shift change than us quote unquote regular folks do. That's just kind of at the end of the day where it's at. If you choose not to, that's fine, but you also have to understand that you're hurting the culture more than you're helping it. Maybe some people just care more about themselves than they do other people. I hope that Gucci, doesn't burn so hot in hell. Anyway, moving on.
you right about the album, Mark. We going?
Did you want to just go into what's your win?
Oh yeah, we can go right into that.
All right, cool. We can save those other things for next week.
Yeah,
all right,
for sure.
So, Michael, what's your win?
My win for this week is shit. I went to a concert. Like that shit was my win. I went to see the greatest artist of all time, Travis Scott. And it was just dope. And that's something I'm gonna talk about a little bit more at the next podcast. Just my first chance going to a concert, my first concert ever being my favorite artist. And yeah, man, I'm just living out my dreams right now, and I'm really happy about that.
Oh, that's dope. I'm happy that you got to experience that, mostly because I made you. But that's cool. That's cool. My win for this week is redefining my relationship with God is. So that was a very heavy win for me, I guess you could say. I think I was a little bit upset with how my life was going, and I had to redefine that relationship. Who was it? One of our friends said, you're always looking for the hand of God instead of the face of God. And so I realized that I was definitely looking for the hand of God. And then when I couldn't find it, I was pissed. And it was one of those, but I'm doing everything right. I'm doing well in school. I'm doing well at my job. I'm doing all this other stuff. And yet I just can't seem to get what I want. And so it was more of a bargaining chip versus me doing those things to do the right thing or, me hoping that I got what I wanted out of it. So that's my win. Me finding that relationship and knowing that it's his will be done and not, his will, but here's what I would like. Here's the here's the cheat sheet of what I would prefer.
Facts.
So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at with that.
I hear you. And we about to black it out on the way out.
I'm ready.
Blackouts. There's nobody really.
Well, you don't have no blackouts?
Oh, I mean, you gotta get the blackout to the homie we met at the concert. Capital J, we did say we was gonna shout him out.
You said that.
I said that. I'm a man of my word. Capital J.
Heard you, Capital J.
Capital J at the University of Mizzou. He said he the king of the zoo out there. He holding it down. He got a big name out there. So, anybody that's into hip hop and all that, he from Chicago. Apparently, he not with all that gang, bop, 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 shit. So, so, yeah, I mean, if you check him out, he said he on Spotify, Capital J, CAPITOLJ. And I'm going to check his stuff out, too.
Dope. Yeah, I think what he said his best song was, it was
He said TNT and brown liquor.
TNT. Why did I say gasoline? I don't know. I thought fire, kaboom, something.
You wilding out, bro.
All right, TNT, y'all. Listen to TNT. Go to his Spotify, capital J, Jay too, not just the letter J. He was very adamant about that. Very adamant about that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a fun trap concert. I ain't gonna lie. Wow. Some very interesting characters there. So my blackout is going to go to, I believe you say their name, Sang Freud. So you spell it SNJ.FROID for their Instagram.
I stopped listening to SN.
Wow, so you should have been listening because she's definitely painting our logo right now. So
this shit stopped making sense. I was like, where the vowel at?
I mean, A is...
You said SN.
SAN.
Oh, yeah, I ain't hear the A. That's why I got confused.
Shit. Well, let me say it one more time. SANG.FROID.
Saying
there was definitely a lot of vowels in there, so you really just weren't paying
I just
attention.
heard SN.
Anyway, she's a visual artist, and she like paints. She does like digital media, I believe she said. Mm-hmm. You know, she draws. Like, she's just hella dope. I saw some of her stuff, and I was like, well, shit, girl, like, go on, do her stuff then.
Is a rando? You never met her before?
Well, no, Jaleesa from our first blackout is friends with her, and so when I was looking around to see how we could not be sued by using other people's pictures and things of that nature, she, mentioned her. And at first I was like, you don't know anybody, whatever the case may be.
Blocking your blessings.
Oh, definitely. And that was like the pretentious part of me, and God got me together real quick, real fast and hurry. But I went and I clicked her Instagram, and I was like, yo, you're really dope. And I'm happy that, I was pointed in that direction for us to get that stuff done. But even if it wasn't for us, she's hella dope because we haven't even received it yet. I don't even care what it looks like at this point. I just want to shout her out because that's, black stuff right there. Black artists, like, they're starving. They need money too, just like everybody else, other starving artists. So go hit your girl up. Go over there, get some commission work. And live your best black life. Mm-hmm. All right. Shit. That was an hour and 7 minutes. I think we spent the first hour just arguing, though.
Yeah, man. I mean, we was kind of nice to each other for the first few podcasts.
We were. Now we letting people really know who we are. This is all a hoax. We don't like each other.
We promise we gonna come back next week and ain't no beef. I mean, we probably just gonna settle it off. That. Yeah, I know she's a little bit tight. So I'm
not even a little bit. I just really want you to know this conversation is nowhere near done.
Yeah, you can talk to yourself, but I'm done.
I will. I don't even care. We love y'all. Go and click subscribe.